Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome everyone to K&S Society TALK Live's Halloween special. I am the host, Adana the Dead. I'm joined here by the vampire Michelle Yaga and Brandon Levick. I didn't know what the hell to call you, Brandon. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
So, before we start, I would like to include that this episode will contain subject matter that should not be listened to by audiences under 21 years of age. And if you're under 21 years of age, get your parent or guardian's permission before listening. And also, views discussed on any K&S Society TALK Live show do not reflect our personal opinions or the opinions of our supporters. So with that being said, we're going to have a nice, schoolish, fun time, and hopefully we'll be joined by Lucian in a little bit. But anyway, how is your Halloween evening going, guys?
Mine's going great.
See? Spit it out my mouth. I'm going to talk over. I am enjoying my Halloween. I have spent the whole day doing pretty much nothing. It's been glorious. Glorious.
You didn't do anything? Did you give out any candy at least or anything?
Well, actually, we don't get very many children in this area. You know, they might come up missing. So they don't come out here.
Yeah, they don't go to the castle, do they, Michelle? And how about you,
No,
Brandon?
they don't.
Mine was good. A little bit. Not really on my street, but we had some. Yeah, I did. I definitely did. But I really didn't do much.
Tonight we're going to have a very special broadcast. We are going to broadcast the original radio broadcast of Bram Stokers DRACULA. That is Stoker, Brandon, not Stroker. So it's not that type of Dracula broadcast.
I see what you did there.
And we are going to also be airing H.G. Wells' 1938 broadcast of War of the Worlds. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And you listeners out there, your hosts will be doing a commentary throughout the whole evening. So you never know what we're going to say, especially Michelle.
Munching on popcorn, most definitely.
Oh, good night, Tom.
So, anything interesting going on today? Like, you didn't do nothing, Michelle, on Halloween evening?
I had a few snacks. Halloween Halloween's always a fun day for me because, you know, I can walk around and get away with pretty much murder. I did have a plumber over. That's always fun.
Oh, we know how that goes.
Yeah, we know how this is going to turn out. So you wanna tell us a little bit about this plumber?
Well, my dog tried to eat him.
I'll play some mood.
He was evil. Dog.
I'll play some mood music in the background.
You have mood music for me. Yeah, I think I killed him off and I come to work and fix my plumbing, and then he pretty much ran out of there. Of course, I did have him working in a dark basement. So.
Oh boy.
Well, no, it wasn't that fun. It wasn't 70s porn fun.
Had to get a little bit of a saxophone in there, you know.
I don't know if I think maybe my Halloween costume might have been a little bit off-putting because I went as a naked lady this year. So.
Oh.
I went as a naked lady last year.
That should be a more popular
Brandon
costume.
Brandon went as a naked lady last year, right, Brandon?
Oh, did?
Oh yeah, this year too.
Oh, all right. We're twinning.
Every year.
We're All
right, so Are you guys all ready to start these broadcasts out? We're going to begin with Bram Stokers Dracula, which is a 1950s broadcast with, I don't even remember who the hell plays in them. But anyway, we're going to sit back and we're going to enjoy.
When the spirit dies, but the dead live, the dark god of the night is a beast.
That's what she said.
Stage 49, Item 30. Dracula by Bram Stoker. Dramatized for radio by George Salverson. Starring Lorne Greene as Count Dracula and Alan King as Jonathan Harker. Produced and directed by Andrew Allen, with an original musical score composed and conducted by Lucio Agostini. George Salverson's adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
This is the journal of Jonathan Harker. Should any read, convey its warning to those who will believe and act, and convey it to those who mourn me, for I have written my last word. Pennsylvania, May the 4th, 1897. A day of a strange, wild journey to carry me on my mission. Is travel among these motionless mountains and long sleeping castles always pursued so recklessly, so desperately? Our Slovak driver lashing his horses, the coach for Bukovina rocking and bouncing, the passengers crying for more speed.
More quickly, the sun sinks.
Crying for more speed as darkness is near, and watching me with eyes that are somehow troubled.
Obviously, you are the Englishman.
The Englishman? Yes, I am English.
In the streets, when we took the coach, there was much attention on the Englishman.
But why, sir, is it so remarkable to be English?
I do not know why, but I can tell you that this wild country, the ancient battleground of Bulgar and Turk, is not only a melting pot of races, it is a melting pot of all the world's superstition. And it is sometimes remarkable what an Englishman will do.
There's nothing remarkable in what I am doing. I represent a completely respectable firm of London solicitors. I am here to perform a service for a client.
And who is this client, sir?
Count Dracula.
Driver, more quickly. Am I to fly this?
Must we travel through these potholes as though the devil were after us?
Tradition would have it these roads should be never repaired, lest the Turk consider it a warlike action.
Herr Englishman, it is the eve of St. George's Day, is it?
Oh, yes, of course.
Do you not know at midnight all evil in the world holds sway? Do you know where you go, Herr Englishman?
I do not understand you, sir.
Our friend has had his say. You, sir, are from London and I from Prague. I fear we find these people amusing.
They seem to be afraid of me. I don't know why. The Count will have his carriage meet the coach at the entrance to Borgo Pass. Then I leave you to perform certain services for the Count at Castle Dracula.
Driver! I know.
I cannot understand this bone-shattering speed.
Perhaps our fellow passengers fear the dark. Or perhaps the devil is after us.
Darkness, with the feel of the mountains hiding in it. A long, hard climb toward Borgo Pass. The horses walking and my bones aching. Campfires near the road. Gypsies.
The gypsies.
I am going to walk a piece.
Damn gypsies.
What are you doing?
I'm going to walk while the hill has slowed us down to a reasonable pace.
I forbid it. I am responsible. I forbid you to leave the coach. The wolves are savage here.
Those gypsies don't seem afraid.
I forbid it.
Oh, very well.
A stranger passes in the night. He believes only what he sees. Will he see what he cannot believe?
There is the road.
Isn't that how you...
There goes Borgo Pass. You see,
Is that how you laugh, Keith?
The arrangements were very precise.
Yeah, that's how I laugh.
Englishman is not expected after all. Stay with us to Bukovina. Come, let us wait no longer.
We came at such a speed, I am sure that...
You are early tonight, coachman.
That's what she said. Again.
Was in a hurry. That is why I suppose you wished him to go on to Bukovina.
That is a strange-looking fellow.
Where the hell is Bukovina? You say Fuckovina or Bukovina?
Englishman, if you must do this.
It's a strange-looking fellow.
Fuck my wiener, what?
This crucifix, for your mother's sake. Wear it, and God go with you.
Frigo, be quiet.
The coach with its frightened passengers swept into the darkness on its way to Bukovina, leaving me with the stranger who had so suddenly materialized. Without a word, he motioned
don't know where the hell that is.
Silent in the shadows. As we drove upward through the pass, the cry of the wolves followed us until midnight found us in the courtyard of a vast ruined castle from whose tall black windows came no ray of light. The silent coachman set me down, drove away, left me in the darkness before the massive iron door. And
typical person has that fun and kicks you out of the car. In this case, the coach.
And waited
Lily.
Until...
Sounds like Michelle looking for her whips and chains.
Welcome to my house.
What did you know what I was doing?
Enter freely and of your own will.
Count Dracula?
That is also what she said.
And I bid you welcome, Mr. Harker.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
The door is very effective.
Sticky, very sticky.
A Turkish army.
It wouldn't lose the key, would it?
Come, sir. It's late, and my servants are not available. Let me see to your comfort myself.
Exactly. I don't want to clean up the damn place.
I wondered if the servants existed as I followed along the passage, up a great winding stair, and down the stone floor of another endless passage. Even Dracula's silent coachman was Dracula.
I didn't understand it. Even the coachman was Dracula?
You will, I trust, excuse me that I do not join you at supper. But I have dined already.
I quite understand.
Oh, that is what he said.
Even in here, the sound of the wolves.
Listen to them. The children of the night. What
my dog.
They make.
Music.
Ah, sir. You dwellers in the city cannot enter into the feelings of the hunter.
Dracula smiled. The firelight leaped and fled about the ancient room from the bright red lips, the sharp, white, pointed teeth. I dropped my eyes.
Do you think Dracula's an S&M?
The nails were long and pointed. I remembered as he greeted me how strong they were and how cold.
He's such a sub.
I became aware of something else. I pushed my food away. My God, his breath.
Smells like shit, doesn't it?
Now,
my girl tells me that every night.
And the house which you have procured for me.
Yes. Well, it's in a suburb, Purfleet, and it's called Carfax. It contains in all some 20 acres, heavily treed, surrounded by a solid stone wall. There are very few other houses close at hand, one being a large mansion now used as a private lunatic asylum.
And the house? Carfax?
Much as you requested, very large, of medieval times, including an ancient stone keep attached to an old chapel.
Sounds like a real estate ad.
I myself am of an old family.
That's lovely.
Old school.
Lovely. I'd love to go and visit.
I understand, but really, sir, Carfax is little better than a disused dungeon.
Carfax.
What is he?
Carfax.com.
It sounds like he's saying.
Who fought as a lion fights.
I didn't know Dracula had a Carfax.
The Huns, whose fury swept the earth till the dying peoples thought the werewolves themselves had come, that in their veins ran the blood of those old witches who, expelled from Scythia, mated with the devils in the desert.
Mated with the devil in the desert?
What
like
devil,
some kinky porn.
What witch
was
ever so great as
Attila, diary.
Whose
I checked that out last night, actually.
Is in these veins.
My diary?
But
no.
Forgive me. I have kept you till morning, and you are tired.
Yeah.
May the 12th. Many days here and somewhat amused at my first emotions, for the Count is an interesting, if unusual, person. He seems to be away all day, But through the night, he has questioned me closely about England, about banking and shipping procedures, and has obtained the names of various solicitors who might assist him in his proposed move.
And he's got shipping containers? You're going to ride in shipping containers. Oh, my God, I'm so jealous.
I thought you said shipping and
yellow
spanking.
Moonlight almost dims the lamp by which I write.
Kidding?
How strange. A London solicitor by this window which overlooks 1,000-foot cliff in this room of ancient beauty, alone. Alone? Yes, for there are no servants here. This must once have been the room of a great and beautiful lady. I almost imagine I hear...
Where am I, bedroom? Get out!
Our most desirable guest.
Where are you?
Here. Shall I come more closely?
Ooh.
Do you see me?
I like her style.
I want you to see me.
Very direct.
Lonely here.
I cannot imagine you could be lonely.
But I am. You are so young.
Are you sure this is the right Dracula and not the adult version?
I see.
It is good for a good treat.
And this is
God damn it, Keith.
Yes. Yes.
Why would you pull this radio show out your personal stash, Keith?
Of love, perhaps.
A dream, a vision from some forgotten age.
One dreams of love and longs for love.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm oddly turned on right now.
This is the sappy love, romantic love portion of the story.
Yes.
I'll give her something to suck.
Damn.
Yellow like the moonlight.
Would you like to touch?
Yes.
And I lean over you. So touching. If you like.
I can't.
As she eyes like these, your love.
I should be playing that porn music right now.
Almost
right? We need some stash or some porn stash music.
Rich, red,
and her smile, my love.
Good thing I did the disclaimer in the beginning of this show.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We gonna act like adults in here.
People are just tuning in this. I think we're listening to some porn.
Well, maybe we are.
Porncula.
My
beautiful.
Are my sisters impatient?
Did Dracula just come into this and are they all having like an orgy?
I think it's a foursome right now.
Where's the fourth person?
Yes. Kisses for us.
My question is if he's in the blood.
Beware how you meddle.
I mean,
never loved you, never
I think we all know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I too can love. When I am done with him, you shall kiss him at your will. Now, go.
Ooh.
I must awaken him, for there is work to be done.
Are we to have nothing for tonight?
Yes.
Wow, that's some kinky sex they were just having right there. Holy shit.
I have awakened in my room a sweet horror in my heart, some grim desire.
I'm smoking a cigarette. My ass hurts.
I remember tales of the vampires.
Your ass hurts?
Who sink their
Don't say.
Keith, did you just say your ass hurts, Keith?
Not me. I'm talking about this guy that's talking. I'm filling in the blanks.
I don't know, man.
Maybe you should not eat some of these tacos.
Keith, why does your ass hurt, bro?
My ass doesn't hurt. Saying his ass hurts.
A wolf, an animal. Why does it sound like Dracula?
Go back to your grave.
And look at it, sound like a domestic dispute now. Typical of romance.
die, and the wolves are coming.
My dog is barking.
I can hear plates breaking.
My door locked. My God, he rules the wolves.
Give me my child. My child.
And then Dracula was arrested for domestic assault.
My door is opened again. But though I've tried all the day, there is no escape from this part of the castle. No way but the windows and the cliff. At nightfall, heart-sick, I was shaving, using the mirror from my traveling case.
Well, my young friend, Mr. Harker.
I did not
Mr.
feel behind
Fucker.
me. I cut myself.
Blood on your face.
What are you doing?
Blood on your face.
Your hands. Take away your hands.
Oh, just wipe it off.
Sucking them.
What is this you wear on your breast?
What? A gift. A crucifix.
This
Did he just ask her where her breasts are?
that is under mischief. Foul vanity, away with it.
I heard something about breasts or breath.
Our business will be
He is like breath.
Mr. Harker. Tomorrow, I go to
Just
England.
eating my popcorn, enjoying the show.
If you care to listen at the window, you may hear when the mirror strikes the stones below. You may.
He smiled with his sharp white teeth. What manner of being is this who, in a mirror, has no reflection? The Tiganya in the courtyard, the gypsies. If I could reach them, I might be saved.
Damn gypsies are
There's
back.
one door I haven't tried. The door to his quarters, Dracula's. Open the door, for God's sake! Gypsies, I hear you in there. You know I'm here. You know I was in there with that. Aren't you living men?
Gotta put some clothes on.
Will
A
you
second.
leave me with the dead? Where are you? Go back to your graves. No use. The gypsies are leaving. Taking him. Write it. Night coming. Write it. Someone may read and find him. May the 30th. My last entry in this journal. I've sought every way of escape. There is none but the windows of these quarters which overhang the terrible cliff. I entered the Count's rooms. A door led me to a deep stairwell, down to a ruined chapel, down to dark vaults of dusty coffins. No way out. And there was the smell.
What the hell did you go down there
old
for?
earth newly turned, and boxes, large boxes like coffins, half filled with the earth. 50 of them, I counted them, with earth new dug from the graveyard floor. Now I know where he spends his daylight. Now I know what he is. For in the last box,
Sounds like a hoarder to me.
found him. Dracula, in the coffin, alive or dead I could not tell, but red burning eyes opened, fastening on me. His youth seemed renewed, the cheeks fuller, the white skin ruby red underneath, the mouth redder than ever, the flesh swollen, and from the corners of the mouth trickling over the thin neck, gouts of fresh blood.
Dracula again.
He lay like a filthy leech, exhausted with his repletion.
This was
was
a
the
filthy
being
leech
I was hoping
leg.
to transfer to London with its teeming millions. I seized a shovel left by the gypsies.
What?
I raised it to strike at that hateful face, and it turned as the eyes blazed hatred at me. My limbs weakened. The shovel fell, gashing the forehead, and I fled.
No!
Gypsies in the vaults, removing the dreadful boxes. I tried to return. They had locked me out.
Put
Locked
my
me
back
in.
out. Damn
I know
freaking
they
box.
work. They're in his pay, filling his coffins, transporting them to the sea, where the work I have done will bring the vampire who breeds vampires to my home. What am I to become with those others waiting? The gypsies are leaving.
Where the hell did gypsies come from?
Dead who by day return to the earth of their own graves. And
they just come back and forth. Are they in the castle still? I think they're in the castle still.
Cliff. My beloved Nina, I will never see you again. May the 30th, the last entry, on the last day of Jonathan Harker. The precipice is steep, but God's mercy is better than that of those monsters.
And now Dracula's walking around in his boxers.
This, then, is your little patient, Doctor?
Yes, Dr. Van Helsing, but asleep. Asleep, Dr. Van Helsing.
My boy Van.
To awaken the boy is no need.
No, certainly. He was found on Hampstead Heath.
Van Helsing's second job as a gynecologist.
Quite a simple case, Dr. Van Helsing.
His color, it is good.
Nourishment, Dr. Van
Helsing.
Good gig. Simple case. Hardly justifies a journey all the way from Amsterdam by such a noted philosopher and scientist, Dr. Van Helsing.
I read of this and the other children in your paper. When found, he was so white, so bloodless?
Quite so. Simple case.
Now, please to remove the bandage from the throat.
Yes.
You take your bandage, Thor. What?
You see?
That bandage, Magna?
The two tiny wounds. Simple case, Dr. Van Helsing.
Please, what is it that is so simple?
Malnutrition and anemia, sir. The parents deny it. Nonsense, Dr. Van Helsing.
And this lady so beautiful of the newspaper story?
Tut, sir. The beautiful lady who lures away the little ones in the night. Journalistic tommy rot, sir.
The wounds, for them, how do you account?
Scratches, Dr. Van Helsing. Scratches. Your interest flatters me, sir.
Scratches on his back.
I cannot account for the honor.
Dr.
I knew it.
There is so much for which we cannot account. In August, I have come to London to fight such an illness as this. It was of a fine young friend of mine, a dearly beloved fiancée, a most sweet lady. He, my young friend, is a doctor as well. You may know him, Dr. Seward.
Dr. John Seward. He is a student of mental disorders. I believe he has a private asylum at Perth.
The same.
And what was the outcome of the case, sir?
With our knowledge, our science, we were babies. She died.
Pity. The cause?
The cause, that I should wish to know.
Anemia, Dr. Van Helsing?
Her blood, it was as rich as her youth. She died, somehow, of losing her blood.
Is that you, Michelle, or one of the girls in the show?
No, love you, Dr. Stewart, old Minnie, don't feel nothing. I'm thinking...
No, Swales, you're wrong. She feels nothing but all the world's helpless, horrible sorrow. So many years it held her silent. She began to weep. I had hope for her.
Yes, years of staring, now another 10 of sobbing.
When did she start?
August 13th it was, Dr. Seward.
How are you so sure?
It was the night old Renfield gave up his pets and turned so violent like.
How do you remember that?
I gave up his bitch.
It was the first night that your poor Miss Lucy...
Oh, yes.
Or Miss Juicy.
How is Renfield tonight?
Still quiet with his pets that he's been since the
Since the what?
The funeral, sir.
What?
Dr. Seward, sir, don't you... haven't you...
What is it, Swales?
Old Renfield, he's been asking to see you, but I didn't like to disturb you. What with all your trouble...
By all means, I'll see him, any of them. What else have I now?
If it were me, I'd be finding my consolation by the pint. A pity you've nothing but lunatics.
Open the door. I'll call if I need you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mr. Renfield, you wish to see me?
Yes. Yes, indeed, Doctor. I have the temerity to beg your indulgence. A very great favor, Doctor.
Should I be permitted to guess? Your little colony of sparrows has exhausted your supply of string to maintain their faithfulness to their master?
No, sir, no. You misapprehend the significance
I don't think Brendan's still there, Michelle.
Well, how may I help you, Mr. Renfield?
Oh, I'm here.
A kitten, sir.
That maybe had to go pee.
I am here.
Well, that would be rather irregular, Mr. Renfield. I gave you sugar to catch your flies. What became of your friendly little flies?
Oh, why is he catching flies for?
Somehow you collected the Hanson family of spiders today, flies.
Oh, he's on a new diet.
Possibly.
Now, by some skill of your own,
I'll have to try that.
A collection of sparrows. You
Cat chocolate.
By chance?
A harsh accusation, Doctor? A harsh accusation?
Now you ask for a kitten. Mr. Renfield.
I want to know who did the voice acting for this guy.
A kitten. A nice little, sleek, playful kitten
that
I can play with and teach and feed.
That I can play with.
And feed.
I'm afraid I'll have to think it over.
Begging your pardon, Dr.
Feed my
Stewart,
ass.
but the
He
old
wants to eat
gentleman
the
from
fucker.
Amsterdam is asking for you.
Dr. Van Helsing.
That's him, sir.
Van Helsing in England? Why?
A kitten, sir. A kitten to play with and feed.
My so loyal young friend, how is it with you?
As well as can be expected.
Such a terrible thing one does not quickly forget.
What brings you to England?
This.
Westminster Gazette? You turned journalist?
No, my friend. Read. Read here.
The Hampstead Horror?
Read.
Really, Van Helsing?
Read.
We have just received intelligence that another child was missed last night. It was only discovered late in the morning under a furze bush at the Shooter's Hill side of Hampstead Heath. The child was
I heard bush.
and quite emaciated. When partially restored, it told the now familiar story of being lured away by the beautiful lady. Doctors noted the same tiny wounds in the throat.
Well, what do you think of that?
It's like...
What do you think of that?
And what do you make of it?
Make of it?
Make
of it?
Poke him in the
How should I make anything of it? I could make anything of it. Lucy would
You
not...
mean to tell me, friend John, that you have no suspicion as to what poor Lucy died of?
Must we go on discussing what she died of? She died.
Ah, my poor friend.
I beg your pardon. She died of nervous prostration following on great loss or waste of blood.
She died of boredom from this radio show.
Haven't we maddened ourselves enough trying to solve that fantastic riddle?
You are right. Night after night, the loss of blood. And the throat wounds. It could not have been lost.
blood.
Oh, where then was the blood? Nowhere.
No, nowhere. Can't we forget it?
You're clever, friend John. But you do not let your eyes see that which is outside your daily life. Can you tell me, for example, why in the pampas there are bats which come at night and open the veins of cattle and suck them dry?
Good God.
Oh,
do you mean to tell me that Lucy was bitten by such a bat?
Suck some dry shit.
What
I know is
I thought he wanted a kitten. Now
our
he wants a
knowledge,
bat.
our science left us like the babies before.
Is that
I
a
got
code word?
confused.
So for this past month,
I lost
I
track.
have had
You
results
said
to
something
my
about kitten
policy.
sucking
The
dry.
dark whispered memories of humankind. This
Bats
only
and
supplies the answer.
Bats are just
and points
kittens
the way
with
to a
wings.
grim battle which you and I must fight.
I fail to understand you.
First, I must give you proof. Proof.
For those of you
must come with
listening,
me.
All right.
if you're having a hard time sleeping, just tune into this radio show. Sure to help you.
All right, out.
Dr. Seward, sir, Mr. Renfield, he's turned violent again.
Hi, Van Helsing.
Friend John, I throw my reputation, my reason upon your mercy. Let me give to you proof.
Please, sir, he's broken out, and he's in a dangerous mood.
I'm going to give proof.
Oh, yes, I'm coming.
Friend John, you know me.
Yes.
Dr. Seward.
I'm coming.
Coming. That music always goes when someone
This
comes.
way, Dr. Seward, by the gate to Old Carfax.
I hear that. What's he started?
Took after two men coming out with a carrier's cart.
Don't understand this.
What manner of disorder is it, this poor man?
I call him a zoophagus, an eater of life.
Eater of life?
Many flies to a
Eater
spider,
of
many
life.
spiders to a sparrow. He eats the sparrow.
Sounds like my ex-girlfriend.
I see the carter's men help from a great
Tastes
distance.
like
He
chicken.
banged the carter's men up something wicked, sir.
He banged someone?
You think I'm practicing a minuet? Murderer! That's it, Olive! Robbers!
Mr. Renfield. Mr.
They
Renfield.
shan't rob me! They shan't murder me! I'll fight for my lord and master!
There's nothing to be done with him. Get the straitjacket on him.
Lord and master. Did you not say he eats life?
Beyond me, Professor. Only once before has he had a lord and master. Otherwise, only flies. You are the men the patient attacked?
Attacked, is it? Murder is the word.
Well,
There'll be accident and damages over this, I can tell you.
No, surely you're too
Just a
strong
fair
and
warning, we
confident
still
yourself.
have 30
There's no
minutes
great
left of
danger
this
from a
radio
feeble sick
broadcast of
man.
Dracula.
Well, not rightly speaking, Doctor. But then them boxes, as we was removing from carpets full of earth, is no light weight. And if it wasn't for our strength being spent on them, we'd have made short work of him.
Well, I'm sure it's thirsty work, and perhaps...
Well, I think it's
Renfield's my favorite
You
character.
sympathise with you and the poor gentleman, sir? They've got him, Doctor.
I like the guy with the high voice.
My master will desert me. All over. No hope. No.
Sounds like one of those sex slaves.
Myself.
Get him into his cell.
And now the sun sets. You will come with me as you promised.
Yes, yes. Why is Renfield suddenly so quiet?
There's a butt plug in him.
Nothing that I can see, sir. But that
He's just
there
happily rocking back and forth.
flying away into the sun.
Van Helsing, we come into the graveyard like ghouls by night. Don't even know why.
I have a hiccup.
All your life you have honored me. Now...
You sound like one of them frogs.
There's her two men.
I know a lady that whenever she opens...
Lucy.
I know a lady whenever she opens her legs, you hear
You
crickets.
can't open the door.
The door will open.
Oh.
You see?
Oh, that's not a cricket, it's a frog. Close enough.
Oh, no. No, I can't. I want to remember her as she was. No.
You are a doctor. You must know why she died.
Sounds like me after a really
More
drunk
so
night.
You may be revenged.
Revenged?
Just drunk text the next morning.
I don't even remember who she was.
How will you open the coffin?
The coffin will open.
Wait. Don't.
You must see.
Do you want to put me in a straitjacket beside Renfield?
You must see.
My God, man, that's Lucy in there. Don't you
Is
realize?
it? Is it?
She's gone. She's gone. What have you done with her?
What the fuck is he saying?
I will show you.
I think he said she is gone. I think that's what he said.
It is near dawn. We cannot have much
So
longer
she's a
now.
man. She is now a man.
The man that has kept me from leaving you hours ago.
You will see.
That last night.
Caitlyn Jenner, is that you?
Your only treatment was to fill her room
What?
with garlic flowers. Great heavens. Garlic flowers. I knew you were going mad.
And her mother, poor soul, she came and she removed the garlic flowers. My first suspicion.
What the
my
hell are they
last
talking
attempt
through?
to
What
save
here is
her
echoing?
Lucy. Her mother,
I think
she
they're
brings
supposed
the
to be in a
flowers
crypt,
by night, not
and it's
day.
out echoing and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds,
It sounds like
a,
they're
sounds like
inside a
tunnel.
mayonnaise jar.
I hope to say of a mind that has meant much to me. But when dark. A woman.
Sounds like they're talking through them little can phones that used to make with two cans and a string.
The string?
Yeah.
What's she doing to it?
This is a proof. Carefully observe. Her lips
They're having a
to the
sleepover.
Lucy! It's Lucy!
Talking
She's
across the
alive.
room.
Lucy!
Oh, found Lucy. She's with 3 midgets.
With a blanket fort.
Oh, Lucy about to fuck them up.
No, I couldn't find her anywhere. She vanished.
You wait by the door. She must come. The child is all right. You saw?
Yes, but Lucy's alive. Alive.
Oh, Lucy, she is dead. Only lives the body.
Oh, I love Lucy.
There she comes.
Lucy.
Uh-oh.
Is it Lucy?
Vicky, Lucy.
Even more beautiful.
The blood red lips, the teeth of ulcers. Somehow they almost protrude the eye teeth and the eyes red.
She was drinking that child.
She was drinking what?
Red toilet water?
Oh,
Yep, she's drinking toilet water. They drank that back in the day.
Oh, she a freak.
Slowly, Lucy. Ah, this you do not like.
And healthy.
A face. This you cannot pass. Return to your tomb. The sun is come.
Her face.
See, she goes into her grave.
Twisted with rage like an animal, like a fiend.
Did you say enema?
I'm just
Animal.
as much here that you and I, as men of science, never have believed. Tonight, this...
What about enemas?
The crucifix has been our salvation.
I thought they said enema.
Garlic enema?
Keith, is that why your ass hurts? Do you need one?
It's only one. My ass doesn't hurt.
Begging your pardon, Dr. Seward.
What is it, Swales?
There's a lady to see you, sir. She says her name...
Don't know. I never heard of her. I'm busy.
I'm sorry, sir, but the lady was...
I say it all the time.
The
same excuse I use.
Go away. Get out of here.
Yes, sir.
All right, Van Helsing. You've proved everything. Now what?
To me, too, it is so difficult to believe. But we have seen. There are the living dead.
Vampires.
So fails us our sight. To go upon, we have only tradition.
Superstition.
There is among us a vampire who works this evil. He does not sting and die, the vampire. He becomes more strong. He is of cunning more than mortal. For his cunning is the growth of ages through which he does not die. He is a brute. And he may command the brute, the rat, the owl, the bat, the wolf. His love is the living, and his food is their blood. When his prey die, they too become the living dead, the vampire.
Yes, Lucy. And how does tradition tell us we can deal with this? Tell me, and I'll do it.
Good. I will tell you. I will show you.
I feel like they made these to put you to sleep.
Close the door.
Oh, it's working.
Good thing Lucian.
Well, except
good thing Lucian. I was just about to say, good thing Lucian ain't here yet. Because he'd be fucking gone.
If you snoring,
set up the lantern there
you love
under the coffin.
You know you'd be sleeping.
To work? Yes.
And here, ready, the garlic flowers.
What was that?
A dog?
That was just Frito.
What are you laughing at, Van Helsing?
I was thinking of my friend.
You?
Send me these flowers.
It's Lucy falling on all fours.
What for?
When we are done, we lay in the
Lucy.
grave.
You gotta introduce me to this Lucy.
To the vampire who must ever by day return to it.
So Lucy may never be at rest.
You forget then she will not.
Oh, speaking of bloodsuckers, I have to call my mother later.
Open the coffin. We must bring to her peace.
Yes. Oh, this strange, terrifying beauty. Is this really Lucy?
No, what the fuck is he talking about?
It is and it is not.
Do not the fuck up.
You are still willing?
Yes. No one else has the right or the duty. I'm ready.
Then in the bag you will find what you need.
Yes.
The mallet.
In the bag you'll find what you need. Words.
Someone drug dealer told me.
Do take them.
Find some sex toys in there. Lube.
Where the heart?
Go to town with her.
The heart.
Through the heart, right through, and she will have peace. Now.
Two in the pink, one in the stink.
The mallet.
No, this is wrong. I should.
So that's where the
She's
state goes.
mine. No one will do this to her but me. My God, how I love her.
Remember, her career has just begun. Those children, they are not yet so much the worse. If she live on undead, by her power over them, they come to her. They become as her. But if she die in truth, then all cease. The tiny wounds from the throat disappear. The children play, not knowing of this. And the soul of the poor lady whom we love shall be free.
Yes.
And perhaps she will know it is his hand that freed her.
What the heck is going on about?
Did he say you love?
Now.
I lost track 40 minutes ago, Michelle. And you're asking me?
I'm lost now. I'm like, he's talking about children, and I'm like, are we at the vampire daycare?
Oh, dear God, I can't.
We do it when you leave her in torment. The just shall be in everlasting remembrance. She shall not fear the evil hearing.
Oh, I think you're going to stick it to Lucy.
Absolve, O Lord, the souls of all the faithful departed from
not that kind of
I think you got. I think you got the wrong radio show, man. I think this is Porn Killer.
And to enjoy the full beatitude of the light eternal.
Explains the poor storyline. What porno has a good storyline?
Master, I await you, Lord and Master. I am here to serve you, Lord, Master.
Who the hell is this?
Now then, what's all this, Mr. Renfield? Why not play with your little sparrows and give us a rest?
I've eaten them.
So is that what you call it when you're playing with?
Let me,
He
if
said,
you will,
I've
sir,
eaten them.
enjoy a moment of Dr. Seward's inestimable company.
Go play with your sparrow,
Doctor's
Brandon.
sick today, and if you ask me, I don't blame him. Shame
Go
on you,
what?
Mr. Renfield.
Go
All those
play with
nice
your sparrow.
little sparrows, so chipper and friendly.
Ah, madam, I am honored indeed.
Now what?
What incomparable elegance, what gentle, dainty charm.
Why, thank you, Mr. Renfield. I do my best to keep up appearances.
I refer, insolent rogues, to the lady behind you.
Oh, her. Ladies are always following me about.
Are you Dr. Stewart?
Oh, bless me.
It's you again.
Yes, it's me again, and the doctor can't see you. And how did you get in?
I walked in, and I must see Dr. Stewart. It's about
Walked in on my own leg.
His mind. Some disorder. It haunts me. It terrifies me. You must let me see him.
Rogue, would you let a lady weep?
All right. I'll ask him again, Mum.
John, friend John. You're feeling better, perhaps? Possibly you should to your bed return another sedative.
No.
So little we know. I have learned the first time when he enter a house, he must receive invitation. But he's cunning. We must trace each detail in the case of poor Lucy. What do you watch so intently?
Nothing. Go on.
Each moment of her life, from the moment of the first sign, the paleness, the dreams, the throat wounds, this you must trace and study for some clue. What do you do with the pistol, friend John?
This!
Friend John, what is this?
In the window with his black, ugly wings spread out, there was a bat.
Damn, shit just got real.
Bat.
Dr. Seward, are you all right, sir?
Quite all right, thank you, Swells. I just shot a bat.
Dr. Stewart.
Swells.
Shut up,
Where's this young lady?
I'm sorry, sir. I heard the shot. She would follow me.
Dr. Stewart, I believe it is not considered quite fashionable to point at a gentlewoman with a pistol.
What? Oh, your pardon.
Fashionable?
What did you want?
Dr. Stewart, it's about my husband, and your reputation has brought me to him.
What about your husband?
You can't get it off.
He's perfectly sane, and he insists he's insane.
That's refreshing. Well, there's
Look at this.
people perfectly
Look
insane,
at this.
insisting they're sane.
Please, Dr. Stewart, it
We'll
really
get the
is
good
driving
drugs.
both of us out of our minds. He had some terrible experience he won't speak of. He was ill a long time, and now...
It's called Viagra, lady.
Oh, you must help us, Dr.
Buy
Stewart.
some.
Most and unbalanced.
Friend John, there is no bat here, shot at or otherwise.
Dr. Stewart, please.
Your erection lasts
your
longer
name?
than 4 hours.
Harker.
Please call me.
Mrs. Jonathan Harker.
Oh, we only have 20 minutes left.
I didn't mind the train down to Purfleet, but the carriage, the sound of those wheels, the horses' hoofs.
Oh, Jonathan, darling, we'll be there in a minute.
Unbearable, unbearable.
Oh, darling, please. Dr. Seward will help you, you'll see.
Who is this lady
But
now?
you'll have to let him have that sealed journal.
Oh, yes, I know you're right, Mina. We have to settle this, and the journal is part
Oh,
of
it's
it.
Nina.
Oh, Jonathan, now that you're
Yeah.
facing this, everything will be right.
Dear
So Jonathan was
Lady,
banging
let's
Lucy and Nina?
No,
Yeah.
darling, I'm not. I
What
love
a
you,
fucking
that's all.
pimp.
Even as I am, tormented with
What a
the
man.
certainty.
Oh, no, darling, sweetheart. There's nothing certain about it except that you've been ill, and you'll be
Yeah,
better.
Dracula sucks.
And there's nothing wrong with your mind. Do you think I could love and marry someone whose mind... What is it?
Do you hear it?
What?
You must hear it. Tell me, Mina, that you hear it too.
Jonathan,
There's
what?
some shitty music playing in the
You
mountains.
music?
I meant the music.
What do you mean? This is a
Only
banger.
gypsy camp out there by the road.
Only a gypsy camp. Take me
Nope,
to your
fucking
doctor,
Goddamn
man.
gypsies.
Lock me up.
Fucking gypsies.
That's too easy.
Well, Dr. Seward, you read it. I haven't even allowed Mina here to see it. All those experiences, they're real to me. Everything's so real. Well?
Well, Doctor?
Oh, Lord, I see myself hanging above the ghastly abyss, climbing. None of it possible but the brain fever in the Budapest hospital. I know it happened, therefore I must have a madness in me.
Doctor, please, say something.
Van Helsing!
Doctor!
Van Helsing! Swell, you rascal!
Yes, Doctor. What is it?
Van asshole.
Listen. Hurry, what are you standing there for?
I already called him an asshole.
Yes, indeed, it was.
For the love of heaven, Doctor!
Now listen, you two are moving into my quarters here. You, Mr. Harker, are going to tell me everything you know about this Count Dracula. Every contact you gave him, every solicitor's name, every small detail you can rip up from your memory.
Is that to be part of the treatment?
Treatment? Jonathan Harker, you're as sane as I or the great Van Helsing himself. We need you, Jonathan Harker. And we're going to war.
War?
Yes, war on Dracula.
You should get ice cream.
Shit.
Last disaster.
I don't want no smoke with Dracula.
It's very difficult with your insistence when I'm exceedingly busy. What is it you wish? Sugar for flies?
Dr. Seward, I am in full possession of my faculties. I must beg of you to release me.
If that is true, in time, Mr. Renfield.
No, sir, now. This request is not of first consequence to myself, but to the health, the welfare, the very lives of others.
Why do you wish to leave, Mr. Renfield? What reasons?
If I tell you that, it will convince you only of my undoubted madness. What can I say?
You have answered for me, Mr. Renfield. Perhaps I can serve you in some other fashion.
What can I say?
What
You
can
will,
I
I
say?
trust, Dr. Seward, do me the justice to bear in mind later on that I did what I could to convince you tonight.
I'll tell you what, man, these radio shows were sure entertaining.
The lady of whom we have become so fond.
Thank you, Dr.
Who the hell are you
now
kidding,
we are ready
Brandon?
to begin to act. We deal with one which has survived many centuries, and we must assume
We
many
still have War of the
attacks.
Worlds to go on
We
after
must
this.
not fail.
We won't.
He drove me to
That one is a little bad. I've heard that one
game to
before.
any other.
I'm cold.
Mina's not well today.
It has been a strain for such a gentle one.
This scarf seems hard enough. I'll borrow a coat.
Take mine, of course.
We know that in life he was a brilliant man, a descendant of Attila the Hun. We know, too, from our studies, he must be the Count Dracula who did his army abandon to the Turkish slaughter and did homeward flee to raise a new force and try again.
And we know from Jonathan that he's at Carfax. Carfax, next door.
That is if our moves
It's
are next.
Carfax.
Is he
It's a
there?
Carfax.
We will see.
Please be careful. Last night, I dreamed.
Let him be careful now.
$27, $28, $29.
I'm going to find you. Here we go.
I wonder what Lucian's doing right at this moment.
There were
Sleeping.
So these then are the boxes, coffins, with the earth of his own grave.
That was his errand.
Empire lair, and each coffin a lair.
Did you hear something?
Like, yeah, we'll just take a nap.
It plays upon my nerves, this ruined old house. The dark shadows, the stone walls, the coffin. It counts with Dracula again.
It is well to be cautious. Our enemy not only has a magic cunning, he has the strength of 20 men. And whereas our windpipes are of the common kind, we cannot have
120 men?
Van
Helsing, we've seen those boxes before.
Yes, friend John. An uncommon vampire is Dracula. So wily is
Back your ass.
somewhere in London with 20 ways of escape and of hiding besides this old house's headquarters. It's our friend Jonathan here who must show us how to trace them, through the solicitors, the shippers and carters who unknowingly transported these terrible things.
Renfield attacked those carters.
Renfield? Yes. Yes, Lord and Master was his card.
Renfield knows something about this. We've got to see him.
I thought I saw a face.
Where?
There, in the shadows. The highlights of his face, the high ridge of the nose, the red lips, the red eyes, the awful color.
There's nothing there.
Listen. Rat. What's that?
Well,
thousands of rats.
Oh, shit. I don't know what they're saying, but something's going on.
Mr. Renfield, someone tried to murder him. Someone tried to murder Renfield? Dracula sent these rats? Great heavens, I see a million wicked eyes. Run! Run!
Oh, shit. Dracula just fucked somebody up.
Found him, Doctor. Just a few minutes back. As I was
My hero.
coming round to light the lamps, the window bars torn open, the door flung into the corridor, and the poor old...
Who's moaning?
Jacket. Take off the jacket. There is no straight jacket, Mr. Renfield.
Poor devil smashed about like that. We must arouse him. He must talk.
Brandy. Well, Brandy in my office.
Brandy.
Mr. Renfield, tell us.
The dogs howled, and the bats came. In the mist, he stood at my window as before. His eyes were fierce, like a man's when mad. He laughed with his red mouth. The white teeth glinted in the moonlight.
A boombox.
I was angry. Before he sent the flies, the great fat ones, with steel and sapphire on their wings. All lives.
Oh, shit, Dracula. You sucking in the wrong spot, though.
All these lives and more will
What the hell's this guy been
you
smoking?
through countless ages, if you fall
Is he
down
saying
Whatever it
and
is, I want
worship
some.
me. I invite him in. Come in, Lord and Master. Enter. He laughs.
Wagon master.
He's
Some
in my
sexual
room.
bondage thing there.
Then I know
Something.
it is
These are some
meant
kinky
to
dudes,
be
bruh.
a young lady of charm. I am a madman, and let me have a madman's strength. Yes, Lord and Master, I gave you the test. I gave you...
Those are probably Lucian's words right now in the bedroom.
Renfield. Renfield. He's dead. There's no doubt how.
I tried to get the brandy. Poor old loony. He was a decent sort in his way.
Friend John.
Yes?
What did he say? It is next to be the young lady of charm?
Mrs. Harker.
Mina. Oh, heavens, Mina.
Your skin is the snow. Your throat as soft as the quivering rabbit.
Cold. I'm in...
Yeah, now they got rabbits?
I have kissed you.
Rabbits are
and
delicious.
I will kiss you again.
I don't think they're eating them, though.
Again.
I don't know what they're doing with them.
Dracula's kissing something.
Shall we warm your dream, beautiful one? You too will kiss.
Your pull?
Your lips, your pale lips to my throat. They will be
what?
again. Your blood will be my blood. My blood will be your blood.
That's,
you will know in your blood that I will
Dracula went and caught another
again,
charge.
and you will seek me forever.
Dracula!
Heat forever?
Oh, sounds like they shooting shit out there.
Sounds like downtown Providence.
Yeah, right? Especially lately.
You think to baffle me? You, with your pale faces all in a row like sheep in a butcher's? My revenge is just begun. I spent
You
it
can
over
talk it
centuries.
again.
You shall be my
Like-
creatures, to do my bidding and to be my jackals when I want to feed.
I can't understand damn word they're saying.
Stop the window. Stop him. We cannot stop him.
Only friend John to return. Through the shippers, the cottage men, we have traced each coffin to its hiding place. We have polluted each with the garlic flower and sanctified each with the holy crucifix. Now he has only Carfax. We will there catch him by daylight, helpless.
Unless Dr. Seward found him in his coffin in the Piccadilly house.
Unless. Otherwise, I could wish friend John would hurry. It grows late, and each night is a terror.
I'm cold. I'm not well.
What precautions can we take? Each must have the protecting crucifix. I place it to your forehead, Jonathan. And Mina, I touch it to yours. What?
Mina, don't be afraid. All he did was touch the cross to
her forehead.
Look.
Mina!
What the hell is going on right now?
Van Helsing?
Oh, she's touching herself again.
Forehead. A brand.
Van Helsing, Jonathan, Mina.
Did you find him?
Only the coffins. I fixed them right enough, but then I went over to Carfax.
You should have waited. I, too, have a score to settle.
There were only 29. Somehow he has removed one sometime in the night. Now we have no way to trace him.
Escaping. He is escaping. Darkness. The smell.
She needs
wagon wheels.
What did she say?
I want to follow. I want to go.
Look what he's done to her, my love.
Did she say swallow?
The marks of a vampire on
She did.
We must all keep together always. What is the story? To go. When in life he abandoned to the slaughter his helpless people and fled home to try again.
It's going to a seaport to go home, to start over.
Come, all of us. We must together go to make the last desperate fight against this monster.
Where to?
If necessary, to Transylvania, to Castle Dracula.
May God give him into my hands just long enough to destroy that earthly life. If beyond it I could send his soul forever and ever to burning hell, I would do it.
Dracula in his coffin. We got him.
Do this quickly, the sun is low.
What are you going to do? Mina, darling, we've got him now.
I'm frightened.
Friend John, I think you especially have the right.
I know just what to do.
Let me remind you all that this is not vengeance. We set to rest the human soul.
Whatever it is, I'm ready. If you want to pray for him, start praying. For me, every blow will be for Lucy.
This dude Dracula's crazy,
What he
man.
may be doing her too.
How his eyes burn. With what ferocious rage out of the coffin.
Don't look at him. That was my mistake. Just do it.
Yes. Now the sun is low and soon it will be too late.
Just do it. This is a Nike commercial.
Eternal rest give to him, O Lord. And let perpetual light shine upon him.
We'll break out the song dance.
We have someone joining us.
So somebody
Hey,
just
you're
got
on the
nailed.
air. Who's joining us right now?
With Lucian.
Oh, shit!
I figure he comes in right at the ending. Puts us through all this boring shit, and now he comes on the air.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah, man, I thought you were dead, bro.
No, it just seems that way.
Stage 49, item 30. Dracula by Bram Stoker. Dramatized for radio by George Salverson. Was produced and directed by Andrew Allen with an original musical score composed and conducted by Lucio Agostini. Starred as Count Dracula, Lorne Greene. As Jonathan Harker, Alan King. With Lister Sinclair
Dracula's
as Van
over.
Helsing. Bud Knapp as
Lord
Dr.
Wow,
Green.
Lucian, you came in at the
Renfield.
perfect
Alice
time.
Hill as Mina. Aileen Seaton as Lucy. Diane Foster as the vampire. And Eric Christmas as Swales. The others,
And
Tommy
Jerry
Freed,
Mathers as the
Doug
Beaver.
Haskins,
Okay.
Murray Westgate, Portia Gregory, Marcia Diamond, and Lloyd Bachner. Sound by Fred Tudor and Alan Gilroy. Technical operation by Bruce Armstrong.
Catering by Kansas Deli.
Nachos by Taco Bell.
That was Bram Stokers Dracula, all your listeners out there. So,
anybody who hasn't fallen asleep.
No, I'm here.
What are your thoughts about our broadcast today? We still have one more show to go on. And Lucian, it looks like you came out at the right time. We're going to be playing H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. Do you remember back in 1938, Lucian, when they played that? Oh, no, you're not that old.
I actually know. I have heard it several times. And some really interesting stories behind that broadcast. You might have wondered how they wound up with having it set in Grover's Mill, New Jersey. The story is that Orson Welles was trying to come up with where they were going to set it, and he supposedly just took a dart and flung it at a map. And it was Grover's Mill purely by chance.
See, this is the first time I'm going to hear the broadcast myself. So it should be interesting.
I believe I heard it. Now, is this is the same broadcast that when they played it, people thought that aliens were really invading, right?
Yeah.
Because they play it off as if it's an actual news broadcast.
Yeah, and even though there were various station breaks or whatever saying you are listening to the presentation of people just weren't hearing that. All they were hearing was the fact that this conflict was going on, and it really. There were supposedly all kinds of, there was various degrees of hysteria going on in the streets. There was a story about a group of farmers had gotten together and with shotguns and were out looking for the Martians, and they supposedly just shot holes in a water tank that they happened upon in the woods.
And this broadcast caused all that mass hysteria.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, it was a big to-do at the time because radio programming, if it was a play, it came off as a play quite like the program that we just listened to. Whereas this one, it had that authenticity that people thought it was real. They thought this was really happening and we were being invaded, and which is quite a good reason why if there is real aliens and our government knows about it, they haven't let us know because they've already had a taste of what the hysteria was like when people saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to listen to it right now. So all you listeners out there, it's the 1938 H.G. Wells original broadcast of War of the Worlds.
The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air in The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the Mercury Theater and star of these broadcasts, Orson Welles.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's, and yet as mortal as his own. We know now that as human beings busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water.
Yes, they have been studying us. That's why they're making contact.
People went to and fro over the earth about their little affairs, serene in the assurance of their dominion over this small, spinning fragment of solar driftwood, which by chance or design, man has inherited out of the dark mystery of time and space. Yet across an immense ethereal gulf, minds that are to our minds as ours are to the beasts in the jungle, intellects, vast, cool, and unsympathetic, regarded this earth with envious eyes and slowly and surely drew their plans against us.
In the 39th year of the 20th century came the Great Disillusionment. Near the end of October, business was better. The war scare was over. More men were back at work. Sales were picking up. On this particular evening, October 30th, the Crosley service estimated that 32 million people were listening in on radio.
Not much change in temperature. A slight atmospheric disturbance of undetermined origin is reported over Nova Scotia, causing a low-pressure area to move down rather rapidly over the northeastern states, bringing a forecast of rain accompanied by winds of light gale force. Maximum temperature 66, minimum 48. This weather report comes to you from the Government Weather Bureau. We take you now to the Meridian Room in the Hotel Park Plaza in downtown New York, where you will be entertained by the music of Raymond Raquello and his orchestra.
Hey, Brendan, they're playing your jam.
Hell yeah, bro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. From the Meridian Room in the Park Plaza Hotel in New York City, we bring you the music of Raymond Raquello and his orchestra. With a touch of the Spanish,
I bump that in my car every day.
With La Compancita.
Hey, don't knock it, man. I attended their last concert. They were fabulous.
Michelle bought all their albums.
Every single one.
If you listen to that in the car down here,
Ladies
you
and
have a
gentlemen, we
bulletproof
interrupt our
vehicle.
program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News. At 20 minutes before 8
See how it was
time,
presented?
Professor Farrell of the Mount Jennings Observatory, Chicago, Illinois, reports observing several
This is why everybody believed it was real.
occurring at regular intervals on the planet Mars. The spectroscope indicates the gas to be hydrogen and moving toward the Earth with enormous velocity. Professor Pearson of the observatory at Princeton confirms Farrell's observation and describes the phenomenon as, quote, like a jet of blue flame shot from a gun, unquote. We now return you to the music of Raymond Raquello, playing for you in the Meridian Room of the Park Plaza Hotel, situated in downtown New York.
Ooh. Throw the Migos on this.
And now a tune that never loses favor. The ever-popular Stardust. Raymond Raquello and his orchestra.
This ain't all music, is it?
It makes me want to drink brandy. Oh, yeah.
Bourbon.
Ladies and gentlemen, following on the news given in our bulletin a moment ago, the Government Meteorological Bureau has requested...
I went to light my cigar and almost caught my eyebrows on
keep an
fire.
astronomical watch on any further disturbances occurring on the planet Mars. Due to the unusual nature of this occurrence, we have arranged an interview with the noted astronomer, Professor Pearson, who will give us his views on this event. In a few moments, we will take you to the Princeton Observatory at Princeton, New Jersey. We return you
See, like,
then,
if radio was my
Raymond
only
Raquello
source
and
of
his
information, I would believe this was real, too.
Oh, wow.
Another thing, too, this was back when, you didn't have the big powerhouse radio stations either. So, I mean, if you lived out in the boonies of New Jersey somewhere...
We are ready now to take you to the Princeton Observatory at Princeton, where Carl Phillips, our commentator, will interview Professor Richard Pearson, famous astronomer. We take you now to Princeton, New Jersey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carl Phillips speaking to you from the observatory at Princeton. I'm standing in a large semicircular room, pitch black except for an oblong split in the ceiling. Through this
Very
opening,
loud.
I see a twinkling of stars that cast a kind of frosty glow over the intricate mechanism of the telescope. The ticking sound you hear is the vibration of the clockwork. Professor Pearson stands directly above me on a small platform, peering through the giant lens. I'll ask you to be patient, ladies and gentlemen, during any delay that may arise during our interview. Besides the ceaseless watch of the heavens, Professor Pearson may be interrupted by telephone or other communications. During this period, he is in constant touch with the astronomical centers of the world. Professor, may I begin our questions?
Any time, Mr. Phillips.
Professor, would you please tell our radio audience exactly what you see as you observe the planet Mars through your telescope?
Nothing unusual at the moment, Mr. Phillips. A red disk swimming in a blue sea. Transverse stripes across the disk. Quite distinct now because Mars happens to be at the point nearest the Earth, in opposition, as we call it.
In your opinion, what do these transverse stripes signify, Professor Pearson?
Not canals, I can assure you, Mr. Phillips. Although that's the popular conjecture of those who imagine Mars to be inhabited. From a scientific viewpoint, the stripes are merely the result of atmospheric conditions peculiar to the planet.
Then you're quite convinced, as a scientist, that living intelligence as we know it does not exist on Mars?
I'd say the chances against it are 1,000 to 1.
And yet...
And it's kind of iffy on this planet.
These gas eruptions occurring on the surface of the planet at regular intervals.
Phillips, I cannot account for it.
By the way, Professor, for the benefit of our listeners, how far is Mars from the Earth?
Approximately 40 million miles.
Right next to Uranus.
Well, that seems a safe enough distance.
Oh.
Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Someone has just handed Professor Pearson a message. While he reads it, let me remind you that we are speaking to you from the observatory.
He's reading it
New
naked?
Jersey, where we are interviewing the world-famous astronomer, Professor Pearson. One moment, please. Professor Pearson has passed me a message which he has just received. Professor, may I read the message to the listening audience?
Certainly, Mr. Phillips.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Your
I
fly
send
is
you a
open.
wire addressed to Professor Pearson from Dr. Gray of the Natural History Museum, New York. Quote, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Seismograph registered shock of almost earthquake intensity occurring within a radius of 20 miles of Princeton. Please investigate. Signed, Lloyd Gray, Chief of Astronomical Division. Unquote. Professor Pearson, could this occurrence possibly have something to do with the disturbances observed on the planet Mars?
Hardly, Mr. Phillips.
They're in the Princeton Observatory, and there was an earthquake of some kind within 20 miles. Do you think they would have felt something?
However, we shall conduct a search as soon as daylight permits.
Thank you, Professor. Ladies and
There's
gentlemen, for the
nothing,
past 10 minutes,
anything you
we've
don't
been
know.
from the Observatory of Princeton, bringing you a special interview with Professor Pearson, noted astronomer. This is Carl Phillips speaking. We are returning you now to our New York studio.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the latest bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News. Toronto,
I was just getting into that
Professor
song.
Morse of Macmillan University reports observing a total of 3 explosions on the planet Mars between the hours of 7:45 p.m. and 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This confirms earlier reports received from American observatories. Now, nearer home, comes a special bulletin from Trenton, New Jersey. It is reported that at 8:50 p.m., a huge flaming object, believed to be a meteorite, fell on a farm in the neighborhood of Grover's Mill, New Jersey, 22 miles from Trenton. The flash in the sky was visible within a radius of several hundred miles, and the noise of the impact was heard as far north as Elizabeth. We have dispatched a special mobile unit to the scene, and we'll have our commentator, Carl Phillips, give you a word picture of the scene as soon as he can reach there from Princeton. In the meantime, we take you to the Hotel Martinet in Brooklyn, where Bobby Millett and his orchestra are offering a program of dance music.
Remember, I want to dance with this music.
No, it's my jam, man.
Music?
Hey.
Pick up your clothes and go crazy.
Oh, I already did.
My clothes been off.
Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
Oh, shit.
Interrupted us again.
This is Carl Phillips again, out at the Wilmot Farm, Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Professor Pearson and myself made the 11 miles from Princeton in 10 minutes. Well, I hardly know where to begin. To paint for you a word picture of the strange scene before my eyes, like something out of a modern Arabian Night. Well, I just got here. I haven't had a chance to look around yet. I guess that's it. Yes, I guess that's the thing directly in front of me, half buried in a vast pit. Must have struck with terrific force. The ground is covered with splinters of a tree. It must have struck on its way down. But I can see the object itself doesn't look very much like a meteor, at least not the meteors I've seen. It looks more like a huge cylinder. Has a diameter of, what would you say, Professor Pearson?
What's that?
What would you say, what's the diameter of this?
About 30 yards.
About 30 yards. The metal on the sheath is, well, I've never seen anything like it. The color is sort of yellowish white. Its
diameter.
Spectators now are pressing close to the object in spite of the efforts of the police to keep them back. Getting in front of the
That's
line
what
of
she
visitors.
said.
Would you mind standing one side, please?
Boom, boom.
While the police are pushing the crowd back. Here's Mr. Wilmot, owner of the farm here. He may have some interesting facts to add. Mr. Wilmot, would you please tell the radio audience as much as you remember of this rather unusual visitor that dropped in your backyard? A step closer, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Wilmot.
Well, I was listening to the radio.
Closer and louder, please.
Pardon me?
Louder, please, closer.
Yes.
I told you that my mother looks like an alien, didn't I?
That professor fellow was talking about Mars, so I was half dozing and half...
Yes, Mr. Wilmot, and then what happened?
Well, as I was saying, I was listening to the radio, kind of halfway.
Yes, Mr. Wilmot, and then you saw something.
Well, not first off.
Will you shut up?
And what did you hear?
Hissing
Boom.
sound like this. Kind of like a 4th of July rocket.
Yes, then what?
I turned my head out the window and would have sworn I was asleep and dreaming.
Yes?
I seen a kind of greenish streak and then zingo. Something smacked the ground, knocked me clear out of my chair.
Well, were you frightened, Mr. Wilmot?
Well, I ain't quite sure. I reckon I was kind of riled.
Well, thank you, Mr. Wilmot. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you want me to
No,
tell
that's
some
quite
more?
all right. That's quite all right. Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, thank you,
just
Mr.
heard
Wilmot.
Wilmot, owner of the farm.
Riled me
This thing has
giggle.
fallen. I wish I could
So what
say
does that
the
mean?
atmosphere, the
Hard.
background of this fantastic scene. Hundreds of cars are parked in a field in back of us, and the police are trying to rope off the roadway leading into the farm, but it's no use. They're breaking right through. The car's headlights throw an enormous spotlight on the pit where the object's half buried. Now, some of the more daring souls now are venturing near the edge. The silhouettes stand out against the metal sheen. One man wants to touch the thing. He's having an argument with the policeman. The policeman wins. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's something I haven't mentioned in all this excitement, but it's becoming more distinct. Perhaps you've caught it already on your radio. Listen, please. Do you hear it? It's a curious humming sound.
I didn't hear shit.
From inside the object.
I hear nothing.
I'll move the microphone nearer.
Mysterious humming sound.
That guy is so high.
Now, we're not more than 25 feet away. Can you hear it now? Professor Pearson?
Yes,
can you tell us the meaning
I
of that
can't hear
noise
shit.
inside the thing?
I hear was
the
eating
unequal
popcorn.
cooling of its surface.
I say, do you still think it's a meteor, Professor?
Is Michelle chewing on her phone?
The metal casing is definitely extraterrestrial. Not
Corn.
found on this Earth. Friction with the Earth's atmosphere usually tears holes in a meteorite. This thing is...
Gotta go to the bathroom, man.
See, it's cylindrical
Just a minute.
shape.
Something's
Again?
happening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is terrific. This end of the thing is beginning to flake off. The top is beginning to rotate like a screw, and the thing must be
Oops,
hollow.
did I say too much?
Keep those men back.
You really have to go to the bathroom?
There's a lovely
I do.
on your phone called Mute.
Thing I've ever witnessed. Wait a minute. Someone's calling someone or something. I can see coming out of that black hole two luminous discs. The eyes, it might be a face, might be almost. But heavens, something wriggling out of the shadow like a gray snake. Now it's another one, and another one. They look like tentacles to me. Oh, yeah, I can see the thing's body now. It's large as a bear.
Brendan, if you use the bathroom, make sure you spray.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's indescribable. I can hardly force myself to keep looking at it. It's so awful. The eyes are black and they gleam like a serpent. The mouth is kind of V-shaped with saliva dripping from its rimless lips. It seems to quiver.
Sounds like my mother.
Monster or whatever it is can hardly move. It seems weighed down by
Somebody's going to be
gravity.
sleeping on the
Something
porch
seems
tonight.
rising up now, and the crowd falls back. There seems plenty. The most extraordinary experience, ladies and gentlemen. I can't find words. Well, I'll pull this microphone with me as I talk. I'll have to stop the description until I can take a new position. Hold on, will you please? I'll be right back in a minute.
If this were the 50s, it'd be like, we must make friends with it, followed by...
We are bringing you an eyewitness account of what's happening on the Wilmouth Farm, Grover's Mill, New Jersey. We now return you to Carl Phillips at Grover's Mill.
Ladies and gentlemen, am I on? Ladies and gentlemen, here I am, back of a stone wall that adjoins Mr. Wilmot's garden. From here, I get a sweep of the whole scene. I'll give you every detail as long as I can talk and as long as I can see. More state police have arrived. They're drawing up a cordon in front of the pit. About 30 of them. No need to push the crowd back now. They're willing to keep their distance. The captain's conferring with someone. Can't quite see who. Oh, yes, I believe it's Professor Pearson. Yes, it is. Now they've parted, and the professor moves around one side, studying the object, while the captain and two policemen advance with something in their hands. I can see it now. It's a white handkerchief tied to a pole. Flag of truce. If those creatures know what that means, what anything means. Wait a minute, something's happening. Humped shape is rising out of the pit. I can make out a small beam of light against a mirror. What's that? There's a jet of flame springing from the mirror, and it leaps right at the advancing men. It strikes them head on. Lord, they're turning into flames. Now the whole field's caught up by the woods, the barns, the gas tanks of the automobiles spreading everywhere. Coming this way now, about 20 yards to my right.
Oops. Ladies and gentlemen,
Whoa.
circumstances beyond our control, we are unable to continue the broadcast from Grover's Mill. Evidently, there's some difficulty with our field transmission. However, we will return to that point at the earliest opportunity. In the meantime, we have a late bulletin from San Diego, California. Professor Indelkoffer, speaking at a dinner of the California Astronomical Society, expressed the opinion that the explosions on Mars are undoubtedly nothing more than severe volcanic disturbances on the surface of the planet.
Of course.
Continue now with our piano interlude.
Never mind the aliens that are attacking us. Don't mind them. They don't exist.
Nothing to see here, folks. Move along now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been handed a message that came in from Grover's Mill by telephone. Just one moment, please. At least 40 people, including 6 state troopers, lie dead in a field east of the village of Grover's Mill. Their bodies burned and distorted beyond all possible recognition. The next voice you hear will be that of Brigadier General Montgomery Smith, commander of the state militia at Trenton, New Jersey.
I have been requested by the governor of New Jersey to place the counties of Mercer and Middlesex as far west as Princeton and east to Jamesburg under martial law. No one will be permitted to enter this area except by special pass issued by military authorities. 4 companies of state militia are proceeding from Trenton to Grover's Mill and will aid in the evacuation of homes within the range of military operations. Thank you.
You have just been listening to General Montgomery Smith, commanding the state militia at Trenton. In the meantime, further details of the catastrophe at Grover's Mill are coming in. The strange creatures, after unleashing their deadly assault, crawled back in their pit and made no attempt to prevent the efforts of the firemen to recover the bodies and extinguish the fire. The combined fire departments of Mercer County are fighting the flames which menace the entire countryside. We have been unable to establish any contact with our mobile unit at Grover's Mill, but we hope to be able to return you there at the earliest possible moment. In the meantime, we take you to... Just one moment, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just been informed that we have finally established communication with an eyewitness of the tragedy. Professor Pearson has been located at a farmhouse near Grover's Mill, where he has established an emergency observation post. As a scientist, he will give you his explanation of the calamity. The next voice you hear will be that of Professor Pearson, brought to you by direct wire. Professor Pearson.
Of the creatures in the rocket cylinder at Grover's Mill, I can give you no authoritative information, either as to their nature, their origin, or their purposes here on Earth. Of their destructive instrument, I might venture some conjectural explanation. For want of a better term, I shall refer to the mysterious weapon as a heat ray. It's all too evident that these creatures have scientific knowledge far in advance of our own. It's my guess that in some way they are able to generate an intense heat in a chamber of practically absolute non-conductivity. This intense heat they project in a parallel beam against any object they choose by means of a polished parabolic mirror of unknown composition, much as the mirror of a lighthouse projects a beam of light. That is my conjecture of the origin of the heat ray.
Thank you, Professor Pearson. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a bulletin from Trenton. It is a brief statement informing us that the charred body of Carl Phillips has been identified in a Trenton hospital. Now, here's another bulletin from Washington, D.C. the Office of the Director of the National Red Cross reports 10 units of Red Cross emergency workers have been assigned to the headquarters of the state militia, stationed outside of Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Here's a bulletin from State Police, Princeton Junction. The fires at Grover's Mill and vicinity are now under control. Scouts report all quiet in the pit, and there is no sign of life
Brandon's still in the
appearing from
bathroom?
the mouth of the cylinder. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special statement from Mr. Harry McDonald, Vice President in charge of operations.
We have received a request from the State Militia of Trenton to place at their disposal our entire broadcasting facility. In view of the gravity of the situation, and believing that radio has a responsibility to serve in the public interest at all times, we are turning over our facilities to the State Militia at Trenton.
We take you now to the field headquarters of the State Militia near Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
This is Captain Lansing of the Signal Corps, attached to the State Militia, now engaged in military operations in the vicinity of Grover's Mill. Situation arising from the reported presence of certain individuals of unidentified nature is now under complete control. The cylindrical object, which lies in a pit directly below our position, surrounded on all sides by 8 battalions of infantry, without heavy field pieces, but adequately armed with rifles and machine guns. All cause for alarm, if such cause ever existed, is now entirely unjustified. Things, whatever they are, do not even venture to poke their heads above the pit. I can see their hiding place plainly in the glare of the searchlights here. With all their reported resources, these creatures can scarcely stand up against heavy machine gun fire. Anyway, it's an interesting outing for the troops. I can make out their khaki uniforms crossing back and forth in front of the lights. Looks almost like a real war. There appears to be some slight smoke in
Careful what you wait for there, Skippy.
River. Probably fire started by campers. Well, we ought to see some action soon. One of the companies is deploying on the left flank. A quick thrust and it'll all be over. Oh, wait a minute. I see something on top of the cylinder. No, it's nothing but a shadow. Now the troops are on the edge of the Wilmot Farm. 7,000 armed men closing in on an old metal tube. A tub, rather. Well, wait, that wasn't a shadow. It's something moving. Solid metal, kind of a shield-like affair rising up out of the cylinder. It's going higher and higher. What? It's standing on legs, actually rearing up on a sort of metal framework. Now it's reaching above the trees and the searchlights are on it. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a grave announcement to make. Incredible as it may seem, both the observations of science and the evidence of our eyes lead to the inescapable assumption that those strange beings who landed in the Jersey farmlands tonight are the vanguard of an invading army from the planet Mars. The battle which took place tonight at Grover Mills has ended in one of the most startling defeats ever suffered by an army in modern times. 7,000 men armed with rifles and machine guns pitted against a single fighting machine of the invaders from Mars. 120 known survivors. Strewn over the battle area from Grover's Mill to Plainsboro, crushed and trampled to death under the metal feet of the monster, or burned to cinders by its heat ray. The monster is now in control of the middle section of New Jersey and has effectively cut the state through its center. Communication lines are down from Pennsylvania to the Atlantic Ocean. Railroad tracks are torn and service from New York to Philadelphia discontinued, except routing some of the trains through Allerton and Phoenixville. Highways to the north, south, and west are clogged with frantic human traffic. Police and army reserves are unable to control the mad flight. By morning, the fugitives will have swelled Philadelphia, Camden, and Trenton. It is estimated to twice their normal population.
Sounds like 4th of July weekend.
Throughout New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania.
Oh.
At this time, we take you to watch
Coming here.
a special broadcast on the national emergency. The Secretary of the Interior.
Citizens of the nation, I shall not try to conceal the gravity of the situation that confronts the country.
We are so screwed.
Nor the concern of your government in protecting the lives and property of its people. However, I wish to impress upon you, private citizens and public officials, all of you, the urgent need of calm and resourceful action. Fortunately, this formidable enemy is still confined to a comparatively small area, and we may place
the state of
our
New Jersey,
faith in the military forces to keep them there. In the meantime, placing our faith in God,
we must continue the performance of our duties, each and every one of us, so that we may confront this destructive adversary with a nation united, courageous, and consecrated to the preservation of human supremacy on this earth. I thank you.
You have just heard the Secretary of the Interior speaking from Washington. Bulletin's too numerous studio here. We're informed that the central portion of New Jersey is blacked out from radio communication due to the effect of the heat ray upon power lines and electrical equipment. Here's a special bulletin in New York. Cables have been received from English, French, and German scientific bodies offering assistance. Astronomers report continued gas outbursts at regular intervals on the planet Mars. The majority voiced the opinion that the enemy will be reinforced by additional rocket machines. There have been several attempts made to locate Professor Pearson of Princeton, who has observed Martians at close range. It is feared he was lost in the recent battle. Langham Field, Virginia. Scouting planes report 3 Martian machines visible above treetops, moving north toward Somerville with population fleeing ahead of them. The heat ray is not in use, although advancing at express train speed, invaders pick their way carefully. They seem to be making a conscious effort to avoid destruction of cities and countryside. However, they stop to uproot power lines, bridges, and railroad tracks. Their apparent objective is to crush resistance, paralyze communication, and disorganize human society. Here is a bulletin from Basking Ridge, New Jersey. Coon hunters have stumbled on a second cylinder similar to the first, embedded in the great swamp 20 miles south of Morristown. Army field pieces are proceeding before the cylinder can be opened and the fighting machine rigged. They are taking up a position in the foothills of Watchung Mountain. Another bulletin from Langham Field, Virginia. Scouting planes report enemy machines, now 3 in number, increasing speed northward, kicking over houses and trees in their evident haste to form a conjunction with their allies south of Morristown. Machines also sighted by telephone operator east of Middlesex, within 10 miles of Plainfield. Here's a bulletin from Winston-Salem, Long Island. A fleet of Army bombers carrying heavy explosives flying north in pursuit of enemy. Scouting planes act as guides. They keep the speeding enemy in sight. Just a moment, please, ladies and gentlemen. We've run special wires to the artillery line and adjacent villages to give you direct reports from the zone of the advancing enemy. First, we take you to the battery of the 22nd Field Artillery, located in the Watchung Mountains.
Range 32 meters.
32 meters.
Projection 39 degrees.
39 degrees.
Fire.
140 yards to the right, sir.
Shift range 31 meters.
31 meters.
Projection 37 degrees.
37 degrees.
Fire.
Hit, sir. Got the tripod of one of them. They're stopped. The others are trying to repair it.
Quick, get the range. Shift 30 meters.
30 meters.
Projection 27 degrees.
27 degrees.
Fire.
Can't see the tail end, sir.
Fire.
Smoke.
What is it?
Black smoke, sir. Moving this way, close to the ground. Moving fast.
Put on gas mask. Get ready to fire. Shift to 24 meters.
24 meters.
Projection 24 degrees.
24 degrees.
Fire.
Still can't see, sir. Smoke's coming nearer.
Get the range.
23 meters.
23 meters.
23 meters. Projection 22 degrees.
22 degrees.
Army bombing plane B-843 off Bayonne, New Jersey. Lieutenant Vogt, commanding 8 bombers, reporting to Commander Fairfax, Langham Field. This is Vogt reporting to Commander Fairfax, Langham Field. Enemy tripod machines now in sight. Reinforced by 3 machines from the Morristown cylinder. 6 altogether. 1 machine partially crippled. Believed hit by shell from Army gun in Watchung Mountains. Guns now appear silent. A heavy black fog hanging close to the earth of extreme density, nature unknown. No sign of heat ray.
heavy black fog hanging over Bayonne. Is
Enemy
that
now
normal?
turns east, crossing Passaic River into the Jersey marshes. Another straddles the Pulaski Skyway. Evident objective is New York City. They're pushing down a high-tension power station. Machines are close together now, and we're ready to attack. Planes circling, ready to strike. 1,000 yards, and we'll be over the first. $800 yards. 600.
I think they're flying over my house.
400. 200.
Bingo.
There they go. Giant arm raised. Green flash. They're spraying us with flame. 2,000 feet. Engines are giving out. No chance to release bombs. Only one thing left. Drop on them, plane and all. We're diving on the first one. Now the engine's gone. 8.
Whoa.
This is Bayonne, New Jersey, calling Langham Field. This is Bayonne, New Jersey, calling Langham Field. Come in, please.
This is Langham Field. Go ahead.
8 Army bombers in engagement with enemy tripod machines over Jersey Flats. Engines incapacitated by heat ray. All crashed. 1 enemy machine destroyed. Enemy now discharging heavy black smoke in direction of...
This is Newark, New Jersey. This is Newark, New Jersey. Warning. Poisonous black smoke pouring in from Jersey marshes. Reaches South Street. Gas masks useless. Urge population to move into open spaces. Automobiles use routes 7, 23, 24. Avoid congested areas. Smoke now spreading over Raymond Boulevard.
2L calling CQ, 2X2L calling CQ, 2X2L calling 8X3R. Come in, please.
This is 8X3R coming back at 2X2L.
How's reception? How's reception? K, please. Where are you, 8X3R? What's the matter? Where are you?
I'm speaking from the roof of Broadcasting Building. I'm speaking from the roof of Broadcasting Building, New York City. The bells you hear are ringing to warn the people to evacuate the city as Martians approach. Estimated in the last 2 hours, 3 million people have moved out along the roads to the north. Hutchison River Parkway is still kept open for motor traffic. Avoid bridges to Long Island, hopelessly jammed. All communication with Jersey Shore closed 10 minutes ago. No more defenses.
Oh, yeah, because they got canceled by MTV.
Our Army is wiped out. Artillery, Air Force, everything wiped out. This may be the last broadcast. We'll stay here to the end. People are holding service here below us in the cathedral. Now I look down the harbor, all manner of boats, overloaded with fleeing population, pulling out from docks. Streets are all jammed. Noise and crowds like New Year's Eve in city. Wait a minute, the enemy is now in sight above the Palisades. Five great machines. First one is crossing the river. I can see it from here, wading the Hudson like a man wading through a brook. A bulletin is handed me. Martian cylinders are falling all over the country. One outside of Buffalo, one in Chicago, St. Louis. Seem to be timed and spaced. Now the first machine reaches the shore. He stands watching, looking over the city.
steel, cowlish head is even with the skyscrapers. He waits for the others. They rise like a line of new towers on the city's west side. Now they're lifting their metal hands. This is the end now. Smoke comes out, black smoke drifting over the city. People in the streets see it now. They're running toward the East River, thousands of them, dropping in like rats.
Must be Black Friday.
Spreading faster. It's reached Times Square. People are trying to run away from it, but it's no use. They're falling like flies. Now they smoke crossing 6th Avenue. 5th Avenue. 100 yards away. It's 50 feet.
And now more dance music.
2X2L calling CQ. 2X2L calling CQ. 2X2L calling CQ, New York. Is there anyone on the air? Isn't there anyone on the air?
Nope. Good.
Isn't there
Wrong number.
Just us.
2X2L.
Hi. We're over here.
Caller, you are on the air.
You are listening
What's
to
the
a
free
CBS
detainee
presentation of Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the Air in an original dramatization of The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. The performance will continue after a brief intermission. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, starring Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the Air.
Well, this is intermission. We'll be talking.
As I set down these notes on paper, I'm obsessed
I gotta
by
say
the thought
something.
that I may be the last living man on Earth, been hiding in this empty house near Grover's Mill, a small island of daylight cut off by the black smoke from the rest of the world. All that happened before the arrival of these monstrous creatures in the world now seems part of another life. A life that has no continuity with the present. Furtive existence of the lonely derelict who pencils these words on the back of some astronomical notes bearing the signature of Richard Pearson. I look down at my blackened hand and I try to connect them with a professor who lives at Princeton and who, on the night of October 20th, glimpsed through his telescope an orange splash of light on a distant planet. My wife, my colleagues, my students, my books, my observatory, my world. Where are they? Did they ever exist? Am I Richard Pearson? What day is it? Do days exist without calendars? Does time pass when there are no human hands left to wind the clocks? In writing down my daily life, I tell myself I shall preserve human history between the dark covers of this little book that was meant to record the movements of the stars. But to write, I must live, and to live, I must eat. Find moldy bread in the kitchen and an orange not too spoiled to swallow. Keep watch at the window. Time to time, I catch sight of a Martian above the black smoke. Smoke still holds the house in its black coil, but at length there's a hissing sound, and suddenly I see a Martian mounted on his machine, spraying the air with a jet of steam as if to dissipate the smoke. I Watch in a corner as his huge metal legs nearly brush against the house. Exhausted by terror, I fall asleep. Morning. Morning. Sun streams in the window. The black cloud of gas is lifted, and the scorched meadows to the north look as though a black snowstorm had passed over them. I venture from the house. I make my way to a road, no traffic. Here and there, a wrecked car, baggage overturned, a blackened skeleton. Push on north. For some reason, I feel safer trailing these monsters than running away from them. And I keep a careful watch. I've seen the Martians feed. Should one of their machines appear over the top of trees, I'm ready to fling myself flat on the earth. Come to a chestnut tree. October. Chestnuts are ripe. Fill my pockets. Must keep alive. 2 days I wander in a vague northerly direction through a desolate world. Finally, I notice a living creature. A small red squirrel in a beech tree. I stare at him and wonder. He stares back at me. I believe at that moment the animal and I shared the same emotion.
So I ate
of
him.
Finding another living being. Push on north. I find dead cows in a brackish field, and beyond the charred ruins of a dairy and a silo, remain standing guard over the wasteland like a lighthouse, deserted by the sea. Astride the silo perches a weathercock. The arrow points north. North. Next day, I come to a city. City vaguely familiar in its contours, yet its buildings strangely dwarfed and leveled off as if a giant had sliced off its highest towers with a capricious sweep of his hand. Reached the outskirts. I found Newark. Newark, undemolished but humbled by some whim of the advancing Martians. Presently, with an odd feeling of being watched, I caught sight of something crouching in a doorway. I made a step towards it. It rose up and became a man. A man armed with a large knife.
Stop! Where do you come from?
I come from many places. A long time ago, from Princeton.
Princeton, huh? Grover's Mill.
Yes.
Grover's Mill. There's no food here. This is my country. All this end of town down the river. There's only food for one. Which way are you going?
I don't know. I guess I'm looking for people.
Hey, what was that? Did you hear something just then?
No. Only a bird. A live bird.
Yeah. You get to know that birds have shadows these days. Say, we're in the open here. Let's crawl in this doorway here and talk.
Have you seen any Martians?
No. They're going over to New York. Tonight, the sky's alive with their lights, just as if people were still living in it. By daylight, you can't see them. 5 days ago, a couple of them carried something big across the flats from the airport. I think they're learning how to fly.
Fly?
Yeah, fly.
Then it's all over with humanity. Stranger, there's still you and I. 2 of us left.
Yeah.
I love you.
Themselves in solid. They wrecked the greatest country in the world. Those green stars, they're probably falling somewhere.
Are you saying that to us?
They've only lost one machine. There isn't anything to do. We're done. We're licked.
Where were you? You're in a uniform.
Yeah, what's left of it. I was in the militia. National Guard. That's good. There wasn't any war. Any more than there's war between men and ants.
Yes, but we're eatable ants. I found that out. What'll they do to us?
I thought it all out. Right now, we're caught as we're wanted. A Martian only has to go a few miles to get a crowd on the run. But they won't keep on doing that. They'll begin catching us systematic, like keeping the best and storing us in cages and things. They haven't begun on us yet.
Not begun?
Not begun. All that's happened so far is because we don't have sense enough to keep quiet, bothering them with guns and such stuff and losing our heads and rushing off in crowds. No, instead of our
Rushing around blind, we got to fix ourselves up according to the way things are now. Cities, nations, civilization, progress.
Yes, but if that's so, what is there to live for?
Well, there won't be any more concerts for 1,000,000 years or so, and no nice little dinners at restaurants. If it's amusement you're after, I guess the game's up.
What is there left?
Life, that's what. I want to live. Yeah, and so do you. We're not going to be exterminated. And I don't mean to be caught either. Tamed and fattened and bred like an ox.
What are you going to do?
I'm going on. Right under their feet. I got a plan. We men as men, we don't know enough. We got to learn plenty before we got a chance. We've got to live and keep free while we learn, see? I've thought it all out, see?
Well, tell me the rest.
Well, it isn't all of us that are made for wild beasts. That's what it got to. That's what it got to be. That's why I watched you. Watched you. All those little office workers that used to live in these houses. They be no good. They haven't any stuff in them. They used to run off to work. I've seen hundreds of them running to catch their commuter's train in the morning, afraid they'd get canned if they didn't. Running back at night, afraid they wouldn't be in time for dinner. Lives insured and a little invested in case of accidents. Yeah, and on Sundays, worried about the hereafter. The Martians, they'll be a godsend for those guys. Nice roomy cages, good food, careful breeding, no worries. Yeah, after
for those of you listening, if you go off the air, you can catch the entire
be glad to be caught.
episode of tonight's broadcast once posted.
That isn't all. These Martians are going to make pets of them. Train them to do tricks. Who knows? Get sentimental over the pet boy who grew up and had to be killed. Yeah. And some, maybe, they'll train to hunt us.
Oh, no, it's impossible.
Yes, they will. There's men who do it gladly. One of them never comes after me, by...
In the meantime, you and I and others like us, where are we to live when the Martians own the Earth?
I got it all figured out. To live underground. I've been thinking about the sewers. Under New York, there are miles and miles of them. The main ones, they're big enough for anybody. And there's cellars, vaults, underground storerooms, railway tunnels, subways. You begin to see, huh? We'll get a bunch of strong men together. No weaklings. That rubbish, out.
As you meant me to go.
All right. Give you a chance, didn't I?
Won't quarrel about that. Go on.
We got to make safe places for us to stay in, see? Get all the books we can. Science books. That's where men like you come in.
Are you still there, Michelle?
Yes,
Lucian, you didn't fall asleep yet?
Even spy on the Martians.
Not asleep yet.
May not be so much we have to learn.
Well, that's the thing. I find it kind of hard to do Mystery Science Theater kind of thing about this broadcast because I've always loved it.
Suddenly start off. Heat rays right and left. Not a Martian in them. Not a Martian in them, see? But men. Men who've learned the way how. May even be in our time. Gee. Imagine having one of them lovely things with a heat ray wide and free. We'd turn it on Martians. We'd turn it on men. We'd bring everybody down on their knees.
That's your plan.
Yeah. You, me, more of us. We'd own the world.
I see.
Hey, what's the matter? Where are you going?
Not to your world. Bye, stranger. Well, after parting with the artilleryman, I came at last to the Holland Tunnel, entered that silent tube, anxious to know the fate of the great city on the other side of the Hudson. Cautiously, I came out of the tunnel and made my way up Canal Street. Reached 14th Street, and there again were black powder and several bodies and an evil, ominous smell from the gratings of the cellars of some of the houses. I wandered up through the 30s and 40s, stood alone on Times Square. Caught sight of a lean dog running down 7th Avenue with a piece of dark brown meat in his jaws and a pack of starving mongrels at his heels. Made a wide circle around me as though he feared I might prove a fresh competitor. Walked up Broadway in the direction of that strange powder, past silent shop windows, displaying their mute wares to empty sidewalks. Past the Capitol Theater, Silent. Dark. Past a shooting gallery where a row of empty guns faced an arrested line of wooden ducks. Near Columbus Circle, models of 1939 motor cars in the showrooms facing empty streets. Over the top of the General Motors building, I watched a flock of black birds circling in the sky. Hurried on. Suddenly, I caught sight of the hood of a Martian machine, standing somewhere in Central Park, gleaming in the late afternoon sun. An insane idea. I rushed recklessly across Columbus Circle and into the park. I climbed a small hill above the pond at 60th Street, and from there I could see, standing in a silent row along the mall, 19 of those great metal titans, their cowls empty, their steel arms hanging listlessly by their sides. I looked in vain for the monsters that inhabit those machines. Suddenly, my eyes were attracted to the immense flock of black birds that hovered directly below me. They circled to the ground. And there before my eyes, stark and silent, lay the Martians with the hungry birds pecking and tearing brown shreds of flesh from their dead bodies. Later, when their bodies were examined in laboratories, it was found that they were killed by the putrefactive and disease bacteria against which their systems were unprepared.
Wow.
Plain, after all, man's defenses had failed. By the humblest thing that God, as wisdom, has put upon this earth.
Brought down by STDs.
Before the cylinder fell, there was a general persuasion that through all the deep of space,
always for protection.
No life existed beyond the petty surface of our minute sphere. Now we see further. Dim and wonderful is the vision I've conjured up in my mind of life spreading slowly from this little seedbed of the solar system throughout the inanimate vastnesses of sidereal space. But a remote dream. Maybe that the destruction of the Martians is only a reprieve to them and not to us. The future ordained, perhaps. Strange it now seems to sit in my peaceful study at Princeton, writing down this last chapter of the record, begun at a deserted farm in Grover's Mill. Strange to watch children playing in the streets. Strange to see young people strolling on the green where the new spring grass heals the last black scars of a bruised earth. Strange to watch the sightseers enter the museum where the dissembled parts of a Martian machine are kept on public view. Strange when I recall the time when I first saw it. Bright and clean-cut, hard and silent under the dawn of that last great day. This is Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen. Out of character, to assure you that the War of the Worlds has no further significance than as the holiday offering it was intended to be. The Mercury Theater's own radio version of dressing up in a sheet and jumping out of a bush and saying boo. Starting now, we couldn't soap all your windows and steal all your garden gates by tomorrow night, so we did the best next thing. We annihilated the world before your very ears and utterly destroyed the CBS. You will be relieved, I hope, to learn that we didn't mean it and that both institutions are still open for business. So goodbye, everybody.
This little epilogue was added on immediately following the broadcast because the phones were going nuts at the studio.
Globular invader of your living room is an inhabitant of the pumpkin patch, and if your doorbell rings and nobody's there, that was no Martian. It's Halloween.
Tonight, the Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations coast to coast has brought you
I
The
could
War
see
of the
where people
World
would
by
get
H.G. Wells.
very upset and
17th in
confused.
its weekly series of dramatic broadcasts featuring Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air. Next week,
it was very involving, and it did hook you. It was really hard to do commentary on a show like this because you get so involved into it.
It is a very well done piece. too, so it's hard to want to step on. Brilliant. Just sometimes, we have to take ourselves back and go, nope, we're just going to let the piece speak for itself and not touch it. The Dracula, that was so easy to, interject because it got a little drawn out and a little bit boring. So we needed to liven that piece up a little bit.
Yeah, we had to liven that up. But I did enjoy I did enjoy it a lot, and I hope the audience did too. Which one of your new co-hosts is barking? that there is Smokey. He kind of enjoyed the show also, watching me sit.
Hi, Smokey.
Hi, Smokey.
Who's a good boy?
But no, but this is our first Halloween special, and I think it went pretty well. It kind of, for the audience, those listening, or soon to be listening, when you listen to the recap of it, you get the full entirety of the show. This show was mostly to put together something that was special for you listeners to enjoy and for us to have some fun, because we like doing what we do. We like hosting, and we like bringing you this broadcast of K&S Society TALK Live. And then we go back to our regular programming tomorrow evening with special guest Will Keenan, who'll be joining us, and we're looking forward to that. And I think we did pretty good tonight. As far as Brandon, he's still in the bathroom, never came back again.
He must have had way too much candy.
I think he drove across town to that bathroom.
He went across town to the bathroom? Or he fell in?
Well, we really enjoyed having Lucian on board for the second story of War of the Worlds, because, like I say, Lucian, you bring the essence, and you know the history of a lot of films, and a lot of cinema, and also a lot of these broadcast shows, and you really hit it on the mark when you said how it was back in the day because of all the mass hysteria when this show aired on live and such. And we really appreciate you coming on board for this one.
Well, thank you.
Well, as far as all your listeners, please make sure you tune in tomorrow, November 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for our special guest, Will Keenan, will be joining us. And he is an awesome actor, producer, writer. He's also really good in business. There's so much stuff that this guy did. He's like an entrepreneur of entertainment, and we're looking forward to that. But other than that, I want to wish you guys a happy Halloween, what's left to it. We're 1 hour away till we hit November 1st, and then we have to wait a whole another year to bring you the second episode of this here Halloween special. It's probably something we're going to be doing all the time now, bringing you this Halloween special with different shows. And also we'll be bringing you, we'll be looking into getting you some Christmas specials as well. Cool. And for you all to enjoy. So I like to say, Michelle, as always, it's always a privilege and an honor to have you on the show. And Lucian,
thank you for having me.
Lucian, the same. I mean, it was great having you on the show. And Brandon's still sitting on the throne somewhere. And if he's listening, we appreciate him being on the show as well. So for all your listeners out there, oh yes, and Brandon, do not forget that courtesy flush. And for you listening out there, you have a pleasant rest of your Halloween evening,